All right, everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is D23 week, and there's a lot of preparation underway over at the Anaheim Convention Center for the brand new D23 event. And I'm gonna go over there now to kind of show you what the setup looks like, but more importantly, give you guys some tips on where to go, where some important things are that you're gonna need to know about. It seemed like those are really popular the last D23 that I did them. People really enjoyed it, so I'm back again this time around to show you, of course, beforehand, and of course the coverage of all the things that get announced and showcased at D23. I'm really excited. This is one of the best events that Disney puts on. They're always really chaotic, but still in the end, tons of fun. So let's get started. We'll head on over. So my first tip is, of course, the Toy Story parking lot. That's where I just parked right now. I highly recommend, if you have a Magic Key Pass with parking, to head on over to the Toy Story parking lot. Even if you only have the discounted parking, it's still a better option in my opinion. And even if you don't have any parking and you have to pay the full $35, in my opinion, parking at the Toy Story parking lot is so much easier and so much less of a hassle. There's not usually that long of a line to get in here. There might be on D23 day, but nothing compared to what they got going on over there at the Anaheim Convention Center with their parking. So 10 out of 10 would recommend to park at Toy Story lot. It only costs $25 to park at the convention center, but it costs $35 to park at Disney. Honestly, I'd rather pay the extra $10 to not have to deal with the hassle. And while we're walking in, we might as well mention some other things. So like I said, parking at the Anaheim Convention Center is $25, listed on the D23 website. Parking at Disneyland, whether you're parking at the structure or Toy Story lot, is $35. So it is $10 more, but like I mentioned, I personally think it's a much easier option, much less stress. You do have to do this little bit of a walk, so if that's not something that you can do, maybe you don't want to do it. But at the same time, I've heard many horror stories from past D23s that parking to get into the convention center parking was 2 hours, hour and a half long lines in the morning, close to when the convention starts. Now, the only problem with the parking at the Toy Story parking lot is that you never know when it's going to open. Disney typically says that parking lots open an hour before park opening, but sometimes things just open late. It's not reliable. Sometimes they open super early. Maybe Disney will even open it like at 6 a.m. that day. We just really kind of don't know until the day of. So if you're trying to get to the security lines really early at D23 because you're trying to get to like a merch drop or just some other thing, you might not want to rely on the Toy Story parking lot and maybe park somewhere else and then Uber into the convention if you have to get here super early. Now, before I head into the area of the convention center, I wanted to stop really quick here. This is another tip I wanted to share. So normally right here, this curb, you can see across the street is Toy Story lot where we came from. This is usually the alleyway where Ubers and Lyfts pick up and drop off. Every convention, this has always been the case. However, for D23, at least according to the Disney website for D23, they list Uber, rideshare, Lyft, all that kind of stuff, pickup is going to be across the street at the Toy Story parking lot on the right-hand side of the lot. So when you first enter the lot on the right, that's going to be the designated rideshare taxi pickup area. This is not going to be an area that they're doing Uber pickup and drop off. I'm not sure how strict it's going to be. You might be able to still drop off here with your Uber or Lyft, but it's officially listing it on the website as at the Toy Story parking lot. So maybe let your Uber or Lyft driver know in advance so they don't come in here and then have to get turned around, maybe in a really long queue or a long mess and just delaying things. Let them know to go to the Toy Story parking lot. But let's head in now to the main convention center area. D23 is already being set up, so let's check it out. Okay, so we made it to the Grand Plaza here at the Anaheim Convention Center. Right over there is usually the security checkpoint entrance for one of the main entrances here at D23. And then beyond this middle section is where all the food trucks are. So this is in a secure zone, and this is a main entrance point for people that are trying to get into D23. I think it's like one of 3. So this could be a spot where you line up in the morning for access into the convention center. So keep that in mind. Typically this whole section over here is walled off with these giant fences so that people don't come in and out in all these openings. And the last few times anyway, this whole like transportation zone here was all cordoned off and taped up, and these were like not rope queues, but like tape queues back and forward for people that were waiting to get through security, which starts way down there. Typically only something in the morning. I'm really hoping we see less lines at security because all the big panels are committed. People have tickets. They're ready to go. So there's no people trying to rush to get in to hopefully get a spot in the standby queue and then wait for hours for a panel that starts at 10 a.m. later that morning. It's just not gonna be that way. Everyone has tickets for the event in the evening. So the only people that are trying to get in are just trying to go have fun on the show floor, or maybe get in before a panel they have an RSP for, or that they're trying to do standby for. So all in all, I'm hoping that we see less lines, but I don't know. Disney, for D23, it's always been pretty chaotic. But look at the setup. It's already here. Let's get a closer look. Today is Sunday, and it's officially D23 week. D23 starts on Thursday, essentially, and goes through all next weekend. And the preparation is already here. We have the big marquee signage. First time it doesn't say D23 Expo. And then we also have some D23 banners along each corridor in front of the convention. So we'll go get a closer look at some of that. Maybe we can see inside. So we already got some directional signage. They have the World of Disney. They're telling you to turn around and head the other direction for the World of Disney product experience. That's going to be over here at ACC North. It's the only thing in the new expansion. And then, of course, they're also saying the Arena D23 Plaza shuttle stop, which we'll head to in a second, is over there. And then the Transit Plaza shuttle stop, which is important this year, is directly ahead. And we're going to go there next. But here's a look at some of the other banners. And then also an up-close look at the marquee for D23. And it looks like we have some stuff inside too. I don't know if you guys can see inside, but there's some banners up. We have Pixar, we have Tiana, Elsa. But we also have the banners here, and I'm heading down this direction so that I could show you guys where the transportation is going to be for shuttles that go to Honda Center at the end of the day. All right, so we came from the Grand Plaza, passed over here Hall D, and now Hall E. Straight ahead over here is the Transit Plaza for all the shuttles that are going to the Honda Center. This is important this year because this was not something we needed in past years. It's a pretty small transit plaza, honestly, and I don't know how they're going to accommodate all the shuttles that are taking people, although this is one of 2 shuttle stops for the transit plazas here at D23 that are taking people over to the Honda Center. Hall D and Hall E used to be the home of the big panel Hall D23, where all the presentations were that hold 7,500, 8,000 people. But now it's going to be some additional floor space. And then, of course, right over here, just outside of it, is the shuttle stop. So this little small roundabout here, this is the shuttle stop for the shuttles that take guests from the Anaheim Convention Center to the Honda Center. So you're going to be headed this direction. So when you think about where you're going for those shuttles and you plan on taking them, this is where it's going to be. Right over here outside Halls D and Hall E. There is one more shuttle stop, and like I mentioned, we're going to be going there in just a second. Now heading in the opposite direction from the Grand Plaza is going to be where the North expansion is, as well as the other shuttle stop. So we'll head that way to show you kind of the lay of the land in this direction. All right, so we're over here right next to the big dome. This is ACC North. This is the expansion that's connected by the big sky bridge, which you can access on the 2nd floor. This is going to be where the World of Disney showcases, where all the different merch is at. There's going to be some panels in the arena as well too. But more importantly, this is another main entrance for D23. The security checkpoint on this side also garners really long lines in the morning typically. And this is, in my opinion, a lot better of an entrance sometimes if you can make it. It seems like there's a lot less people coming from this side versus the other side, because all the hotels kind of dump into that other one. But there are a lot of hotels here on Katella as well, and people get dropped off here on the street. So kind of pick your poison. There is a third entrance to the D23 area, and it is sort of by that transportation plaza, at least in years past. But I don't know that they're going to use that this year since there's going to be a D23 shuttle. But I wanted to walk all the way over here in addition to showing you the entrance. And again, this is typically cut off right here for security. This is where the security lines are, and they usually got like the bag check and things here. But I wanted to walk out to the street because this is indicated on the map as the second shuttle stop for the shuttles that go to Honda Center. This is a more direct route. This is Katella Avenue right here, and this street goes all the way to the Honda Center. So the shuttles would literally just pick you up here and then go straight to the Honda Center, whereas the other ones have to go out onto West Street and then turn right on Katella. It's a little bit of an extra step. I don't know what's going to be extra or easier. This is listed as the extra one, and the other one I showed you was listed as the main one. So I don't know how many they're going to be able to accommodate at each one and how many shuttles are coming here versus the other one. But this little inlet right here. So we're right outside Katella. Oh, there's the advertisement for D23 on the sign. And then this little kind of bump out here on the side of the street, this is the secondary shuttle stop for the D23 shuttles going to the Honda Center. And like I mentioned, they're going to be traveling all the way up the street to the Honda Center. Now, those of you that might be like, oh, I could just walk that. I don't know about that, you guys. It's listed as a 56 to 1 hour long, 56 minute to 1 hour long walk on Apple Maps and Google Maps. So I don't necessarily know that that's a good idea, especially in this heat we're having this week. I'm walking outside here, literally dying right now in the 90s, trying not to sweat. You might actually hear the humming of my fans in the distance as I record this video because I have to like stay cool somehow. But yeah, in past years, well, I guess last year was the first one that they used this expansion. Now it's going to be a big shopping zone, so keep that in mind. But that pretty much is pretty much all the areas you're going to need to know about as far as lay of the land, at least that I can show you on the outside. There's a lot of stuff on the inside that I can't show you until we go inside. So, but for now, this is essentially all the main points that you need to know as far as getting into the expo itself. So again, I'm coming in from the Katella side. This is a main entrance where you would report to if you're trying to go through security. And then the other side where we came in on Grand Plaza, that was coming in off of Harbor Boulevard on that Convention Way Street. So I'm gonna head back out towards the Grand Plaza and back to the Toy Story parking lot. But on my way there, I'll also show you where the Hilton is and how you get into the lobby. Because for those that have to do will call, your will call is gonna be at the Hilton here in Anaheim. It's no longer gonna be at the convention center itself. It's gonna be separate in a ballroom over at the Hilton. Okay, so right in front of me here is the Anaheim Hilton. This is like the premier location hotel for Anaheim Convention Center, and then the convention center is right there. Now, the reason why I'm showing you this is because this is now going to be will call. This hotel is leased in its entirety on the map for D23 on their website, which I'll link below in the show notes of this video, is showing that this hotel is will call now. I don't know what spaces in the hotel will be will call. I don't know if it'll be all their convention center spaces. I don't know if it'll be the lobby or whatnot. This hotel is usually bustling during D23, so it's already busy enough as it is, but it probably seems that they need a lot more space to have will call than just the box office that they've had in previous years. So now for will call, if you're coming early to pick up tickets that were not mailed to you, or if you're an international guest who's coming whose tickets were also not mailed to you, it's going to be here in the Hilton. We're going to be picking up your tickets. And that wraps up this Know Before You Go video before D23. I love making these D23 prep videos. They've been successful in years past and people really have enjoyed them. So I hope you took something away that'll help you in your journey or your visit for D23 this year. Or if you're not going and just want to see and join in all the fun and everything that's happening, I hope you enjoyed that too. Make sure to hit the like button on this video and make sure you're following me on Instagram and on Twitter at Just Ask Danny. I'm going to be posting there all weekend long during my time at D23, and of course more videos here on the channel. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.